And now I'd like to invite the next personality of the session, Dr. Khadar Wali sir, to address the gathering, please. Sir, please.
Good morning and good afternoon. I'm just around 12 noon. So the most important thing is that we all should stop eating rice and wheat. Everyone, all the scientists, all the government officials keep talking that millets, entrepreneurship, value addition, all these things do not mean anything if you continue to eat rice and wheat and treat millets as some additional thing. First, you need to understand that rice and wheat are chosen by the food corporates step by step in the last 50 to maybe 70 years. The food of the human race has been for thousands and thousands of years millets, various kinds of millets. There are 6,000 and above grasses that grow on any part of the world. They are called C4 grasses. C4 grasses require almost nothing. Almost nothing. Just bare land is enough to produce food. I use the word bare land. They don't need even water, because the grasses of C4 family have got hygroscopic bacteria under the surface of these leaves. They can actually absorb water from the atmosphere and make themselves grow. In fact, in our literature, these are referred to. Some of the grasses, their grains are so small that you cannot see. They are called Chudra Dhanya. Chudra means some bhuta, preta, without noticing things happen like that. So, among 6,000 C4 grasses, even today we have all over the planet, if scientists search sincerely, there may be still 200 grains left for human beings to consume. 200 C4 grasses are still. But sadly, at the behest of these corporate companies, let me not blame the whole corporate companies. Let me blame only one corporate company, that is fertilizers and pesticide companies. To sell their fertilizers, they chose C3 grasses, paddy rice and wheat. And in the last 70 years, all the research in the world, all the scientists in the world did only that, nothing else. Everyone's attention has been diverted by these food corporate companies to do work only on these two grains, and all other grains on this planet have been completely neglected. It is not because of something. It is purposely in the boardrooms of these companies. The agriculture has been misguided for the benefit of these companies and for the society at large. We have received nothing but ill health. Nothing but ill health. In the first place, any biochemist should recognize that eating rice and wheat increases the glucose concentration in our bloodstream in a matter of half an hour. It actually beats me even today. Why not a single biochemist opposed for human beings eating rice and wheat, because when the homeostasis of the blood is disturbed, all the diseases come into the body. When you decrease the movement of blood because of the high glucose content in the blood, the pumping of the blood by the heart decreases. This is a direct result of us eating rice and wheat. As simple as this. So, all the scientists should start telling, stop eating rice and wheat. Only then millets can be eaten. Because as long as you are eating rice and wheat, because you are all used to it, you are addicted to it, you are made to eat rice and wheat by choice of these food corporate companies. There was no rice available for the human race because rice and wheat grow in a very restricted conditions, where there is water, where there is lot of nutrients present in the soil. That means if you take 100 acres of a land on any given place, only 10 acres you can grow this. Even after building dams, providing water, providing fertilizers, providing pesticides, every damn thing you do on this planet, you can only grow 10 acres of this rice and wheat. Even today, with all the advancements, with all the investment, with all the research, with all the genetic modifications, you can only produce food in 10 acres, 300 quintals, nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. And by eating this rice and wheat, of course, wheat has an additional problem of gluten, which is a protein, very, very specific protein, which destabilizes our gut by making our celiac area not absorbing lot of nutrients. So this is one is indirect problem of providing too much glucose to the blood and disturbing the homeostasis of the blood. Second, the absorption of nutrients have been disturbed by this gluten presence in the wheat. So it's a double-edged no. But because it increases the yield by giving water and fertilizer, they chose these two grains, rice and wheat, are called green revolution for the human race. In the name of providing food security, they said there is no food in India. In fact, that's a big lie. There was enough food, but then they said what you are eating is not food. All over India, people were eating millets. Mota anaj, chota anaj. These are the words used in the northern India. In South India, chirudhanyalu, kirudhanyalu. Major millets, minor millets. Major millets. Even today we have got ragi, jola, sajjalu, mana Telugulo baragu antaru, varagulu and Tamil word antaru. So different names, but in English it is proso millet. These are little larger in size. They are all millets, small size only, but among the millets, two groups, major millets, minor millets. Minor millets are still smaller. Foxtail millet, barnyard millet, brown top millet, little millet and kodo millet. These are 5 millets which are very small and called minor millets. And another important difference between minor millets and major millets. Major millets require 500 liters and above per kg production. Minor millets require below 500 liters per kg production. That means they almost require no water at all. These 5 grains. These are minor millets. And another important difference, can you put that table? Concentrate on the last but one column. Foxtail millet has got percentage of fiber 8%. And barnyard millet has got 10. Little millet has got, kodo millet is 9. Little millet is 9.8. Brown top millet is 12.5. You see, minor millets have got above 8% fiber. When you divide, fantastic. This is right. Okay. 8, 10, 9, 9.8, 12.5. You check out. This is finger millet. Ragi millet has got 3.6, 1.2, 2.2, 1.3. So major millets have got fiber content way less compared to minor millets. And this is the most important difference that is to be noted by each and every scientist. No one is talking about this important difference because apart from all the nutrition that it has got, the fiber content is the most important thing, because the whole medical fraternity, the doctors have forgotten that nutrition does not give health. Every doctor, hey, nutraceuticals, they are talking. It is not nutrition that gives you health. It is the cleaning of your body after the nutrition, which is possible with these 5 millets. Because when you create ATP, adenosine triphosphate, after burning glucose, you release carbon dioxide. There is leakage of electron energy called EMF. That EMF transmutates into a free radical, then starts spoiling the organelles and organs, and then disease appears. So even if you eat the best nutritional food in the world, if you do not absorb that EMF there and then, your disease appears in your body. Only these 5 millets, of course to some extent these millets, because this fiber is available in the blood, can remove the disease from your organs and organelles and living cells. And this is the most important difference. Rice and wheat can never ever do this for you. Rice and wheat can never ever do this for you. And of late I have noticed, including Indian Institute of Millet Research scientists, including Indian Institute of Millet Research Science Institute fellows. Of course, it was so-called Jover Research Institute till 2016. Only recently they have changed their name. They have not looked at the minor millets seriously. In fact, the sad story of millets right now happening is, if you go to north, Mota Anaj, for Rajasthan people it is Jovar, for Gujarat people it is Bajra, for Orissa people it is Ragi. Only millet means Ragi, nothing else. And this is the poor condition of the awareness. There are 6,000 varieties of C4 grasses, 200 millets. In fact, in Nigeria, Ethiopia, even today, Fonio millet, Teff millet, there are many different kinds of millets depending upon the areas. Luckily, in India, we have got now 10 millets. We can happily, proudly say we have 10 millets. The original seeds are available because in 1997, I came back from America and started working on these millets independently, because in that particular time when I went to different places and requested them, no one was interested. No one was interested. But I knew that this is the only way we can make anyone healthy, because the disease is origin we have to stop if we want to be healthy. To just prove one point, sir, can you play me the video? Everyone is talking about millets being climate resilient, this and that. But what people are not talking is this.
Last year, my son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in the month of September. He was barely 13 at the time. He had to be rushed to the hospital. He was in the hospital for about 7 days, where his medication or treatment included him taking insulin injections. And even when we got back, we were told that, this is how his life is going to be, where he has to manage his blood sugar levels only with insulin injections, and that he had to take it for about 4 to 5 times a day. And not just that, in the middle of the night, we had to check his blood sugar levels every day so that he doesn't enter a hyperglycemic state. And that is very painful to see, right? Thankfully, on the 9th day after his discharge, our very close relative, because of his experience with Dr. Khadar, recommended us to go consult him. So I took my son along to Mysore, and we saw Dr. Khadar. Dr. Khadar immediately put us at ease. He said, my son does not have to be dependent on insulin injections for the rest of his life, that there was another way that included switching to a millet diet, stopping anything that was processed, stopping milk and milk-related products, switching to an organic diet, and following a good physical regime, that is a good exercise routine. And immediately we started that. Also, Dr. Khadar, in his disease protocol, he recommends for diabetes, he recommends taking concoctions of certain leaves in the morning, and having bull-driven oils. There are 5 types that he recommends for diabetes. So we started doing that for my son. And in a week's time, we could see how his insulin dosage had to be reduced, right? For every meal, in fact, we had started giving him lesser and lesser, because his blood sugar levels were getting controlled with lesser dosage of insulin. And believe it or not, at the end of 1 month, we could, stop his medication completely. He was just managing it with whatever Dr. Khadar recommends, with the millet diet, with drinking the concoction of certain leaves, with the bull-driven oils, and following a healthy regime. So we are extremely indebted to Dr. Khadar for his timely help. We are grateful to him because he's been our savior.
You see, the whole world has declared diabetes is incurable. Type 1 diabetes, impossible. Here we have completely, in a matter of month, type 1 diabetes young boy who was injecting insulin on a daily basis. We have stopped insulin in a matter of month once the boy started eating millets, these 5 millets. In a matter of month, the whole world believes that type 1 diabetes is completely incurable because it is genetic disorder. Just by shifting to these 5 millets, in a matter of month, we have reversed the so-called genetic disease. Now it's been 3 years. That boy has not gone to doctor even once, including me. That means these 5 millets, there may be many more on this planet. Because of these so-called food corporate companies, there is no research on these wonderful grains. Forget about research. There are not even machines to remove the husk from these small grains. And that is the sad story of human race. In fact, this is just one. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of sick people reporting to me on a daily basis, reversing their diseases. Be it cancer, be it HIV, be it heart blocks. In fact, there were 8 Muslim brothers, all in the same family, heart blocks. Doctors declaring that they cannot even be operated. They were not able to walk 10 steps. They started consuming the ambali of these 5 grains. Lo and behold, in a matter of 3 months, they started walking 3 kilometers. Not even a single tablet is necessary today. They are walking 10 kilometers daily. Can you believe this? That it is incurable. It is difficult for the so-called advanced allopathy multi-speciality hospitals. And I have not even seen these patients. Just by consuming these millets, they can cure their diseases. Is it not the misguiding of these so-called food corporate companies? The whole human race is suffering from unwanted diseases. So, even today, the so-called value addition, they are adding ragi to wheat flour. How unscientific it is for the scientists to tell, add wheat to the ragi. Don't eat rice and wheat should be the first statement from any scientist that should be coming out. Because rice and wheat are the reasons for the human race, almost all diseases. Of course, we have added milk and meat on top of it, genetically modified meat. These are the reasons for the sickness of the human race. So without talking about it, you cannot just increase the consumption of millets. It is the millets that can cure all these diseases. Can you believe there are already 8% of kids born with diabetes and hole in the heart and mentally retarded just because the parents are eating wrong food? We have reversed these problems by choosing the right food. And what is right food then? It is not just nutrition. It is to give you complete health. That means the disease should not be generated in the body at all. That means the electron motive force has to be absorbed immediately. Who absorbs that? That is the fiber in this wonderful millets. And different millets have different PMF, different proton motive force. And it is this proton motive force which makes sure that there is no disease in any part of your body. People are supposed to be not weighing more than 72 kilos. Any human being on this planet should not weigh more than 70 to 80, maximum 80 kilos, even if you are 7 feet fellow. But now, 4.5 feet women are weighing more than 100 kilos. In India, I'm not talking about America. That is because you are eating rice and wheat. The excess glucose is converted to glycogen and fat and meat. That's why people are weighing like this. And excess glucose is sitting on the hemoglobin and causing diabetes. The excess cholesterol, excess triglycerides are blocking your heart. You have heart attacks. 20-year-old, 30-year-old boys are dying on the roads because of heart attacks. It's all because of the wrong food choices that we have made in the last 50 years. at the behest of these food corporate companies. Till today, even a single doctor doesn't speak about not eating these things. As long as you are eating rice and wheat and sugar, you will never ever cure any single disease on this planet. And we have divided ourselves as irrigation department, environment department, food department, agriculture department, doctor department. But life happens as a whole on this planet. You are dividing in accruing knowledge and applying knowledge, but your body doesn't function like that. Everything happens together in your body. So what you eat matters. So in the last 50 years, human race has stopped consuming the PMF, the proton motive force, the fiber. So by chance, by mistake, if you eat some vegetables, you are better. Because vegetables do not have the complete range of PMF. They don't have the complete range of PMF. Because the lignans and the lignin, the fiber, complete formation is not possible in the vegetables and lower family, morphological families. So it is the lucky aspect of millets. The lowest, the Poaceae family, while it forms the grain, accumulates lignans in its layers. And it is this lignans with the complete range of PMF, proton motive force, that can clean up your free radicals like many antioxidants too. The best antioxidant capacity is this lignans, precursors of wood. If you are standing on wood, the electricity doesn't pass, the EMF doesn't pass through your body, because the wood is a complete aromatic pool of electrons running around, taking the energy. That is the PMF. And the same precursor of wood is available in the millet fiber, these 5 grains. We have done research. We have shown that any disease can be completely disseminated, completely really removed from your body by consuming the millets that have the high PMF value. Little millet has got PMF that clean up your internal genital organs. Kodo millet can clean up your bone marrow, blood, and other related immunity issues. Foxtail millet clean up lungs and nervous system. Barnyard millet cleans up your soft parts of your tummy, that is like liver, kidney, spleen, all endocrine systems. And the left one millet, brown top millet, cleans up your alimentary canal from mouth to anus, all wholesale. So when you eat these 5 millets, your internal organs, external organs, everything get cleaned up in a matter of 2 years. Though you have eaten rice and wheat, accumulated all toxic morbid waste in your body for the last 40 years. Eat these millets for 2 years, it will clean you up completely and you will become healthy. And this is the research we have done from 1997 to 2005. And shown gangrene patients, tomorrow you have to get your leg cut because of diabetic gangrene. We have saved the legs of gangrene patients, thousands and thousands of them. That's because we can clean up your blood and bone marrow in a matter of 3 weeks with kodo millet and little millet. Like that, we have worked out details and produced tables for each disease. The present modern day diseases all have been listed and worked out detailed. along with decoctions of the leaves present around your house and around your village. We have been able to heal almost all the diseases that the modern day life presents to you. That is tabulated Siri Jeevan lifestyle. There is a Facebook available for you, Dr. Khadar lifestyle. These books, PDFs are freely available, you can download. There is no copyright, there is no patent, there is no intellectual rights. This patenting culture of Western countries has been spoiling the human race. Information has to be spread freely, not patented. And this so-called value addition, small change you make and people are patenting. And who is paying you money? It is the government's money and you patent. This nonsense is going on following these Western countries. Nonsense. I call it nonsense. Because it is people's money and you make a product and start selling. You make profits. And this is the corporatization. Corporatization of food is the bane. Urbanization is the bane. Telugulo శాపం అంటాం. మనకు మనమే శాపాలు పెట్టుకున్నాం ఇవన్నీ. Because our kids are suffering. The future generations do not have food because of these policies. Unless the governments understand this, the administrative people understand this, there will be no food in any country within next 30-40 years. Already many countries are facing food crisis. It's not that there is no food. It is that these companies have declared that whatever grows on each and every piece of land is not food. And that is the problem. It is not that there is no food. It is that human beings think rice and wheat are the only food. And that is the problem. Food security. In fact, even today, India has got 40 times more piece of land that is not used for food production. They are not using for anything. We can grow millets in them. In fact, sir was telling me the exact numbers. 55 million hectares. And the food produced in India is 1.5 lakh hectares. Where is 1.5 lakh hectares? Where is 55 million hectares? All these 55 million hectares, I can grow millets. Just drones before rainy season, I threw these seeds of millets. 55 million hectares food is available. It's not India. I can feed China, India, Africa. Just food produced in India alone. And imagine African land, which is 5 times more than India. If they start producing millets, these 5 grains, we can feed not 1 globe. I can feed 10 globes. You don't need to increase the yields. Per acre yield is not important. It is per how many acres we can produce. 55 million hectares is lying free without being used. At the behest of these corporate companies, we are thinking rice and wheat is our food and eating the food and running around the hospitals. Nothing else is happening. We can close down all the hospitals if we start eating millets from tomorrow in a matter of 3 years. You don't need the hospitals at all. because the doctor is within you when you eat millets. It is left to you to keep the doctor inside your tummy or run around the multi-speciality hospitals thinking that there is health there. Each and every human body has to clean each and every living cell in the body. Only then there is health. You cannot say, today I will eat millets, tomorrow I will eat gulab jamun. You eat gulab jamun made out of millets. Don't mix with rice and wheat. So, if you want to create value-added products, create with millets and millets only. Please do the things as per nature. So you don't need any increased yield varieties. What you need is to occupy more and more acreage to grow this. And once you start growing within 2 seasons, the birds come and fertilize your soil and increase the yields. In fact, I have produced kodo millet 18 quintals in an acre without any inputs. 18 quintals in 1 acre. So, there is no need to tinker the genes. Once you tinker the genes, we know what happens. We are becoming sick. The genetically modified sweet corn is 18% cause of your cancer. The people are going to the cinema halls and popping up the popcorn. You are creating cancerous disease in your body. It is directly responsible for ulcerous condition in each and every cell. Soya bean, the genetically modified high protein content, is responsible for various kinds of cancers. So, genetically modified food in the name of increasing the yields and increasing the proteins, increasing the nutritional values, is a big misconception. Actually, our collector Saab has clearly said it is a misconception. Who created the misconception? The corporate companies are creating the misconceptions. I will give you one example. When you go to a doctor, if you have a diabetes, what does he say? Take this tablet. How long? What does he say? Lifelong. Am I right? Isn't it a misconception? Because he doesn't want to tell you, don't eat rice and wheat. If he just says that word, don't eat rice and wheat, your diabetes vanishes away. We have cured in 30 days any kind of diabetes. Any kind of diabetes. 20 years insulin, we have cured in 30 days. If you eat millets 3 times a day, you will be completely free of your disease. Are you ready to eat is the question. Because you are all addicted to rice and wheat. You want 24/7 palau. Now, Zomato order, you get your palaus. This is the problem we are facing. So, what is the problem for millet consumption? These are the problems. It is your mindset. It is the mindset. All others are not problems according to me. We can increase the acreage of growing millets. We can make value addition products. We can make machines to remove the husk. It's a matter of 3 years we can create. But if you are not eating, what is the point? So, it is the attitude. See this iPhone. It's because everyone wants to use iPhone. It is 1 lakh rupees. Imagine, I don't want to use. Actually, I never bought this. Someone gave me this. I don't want to use iPhone. It has no value. Am I right? The same thing. You have the best food in the world, and if you do not want to eat it, there is no value. So value is created where? In your mind. In your mind. So it is this mental attitude that you want to eat millets because blah, 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 blah are reasons. One is climate resilient, this, that. But most important is that you do not want to see a doctor in your life. Is that more important for you? Do you want to go to doctors every day? I have not gone to doctor even a single day. I am 66 years old because I chose to eat the right food. This is the difference. And there is enough science of millets which we have generated. And many people ask me when I present, where is the reference? Said, I am the reference. I am the first fellow in the world doing this work. So where will I have reference? And I am happy that we have discovered 5 millets that can heal our bodies thoroughly. And I am hoping the future generations will figure out more and more millets, because as far as my knowledge goes, there are 200 more millets left on this planet to be discovered. They have been systematically eliminated by these food corporates. Systematically eliminated by these food corporates. Do you know in 1970s what they said? Hey, these are coarse grains. Even today, you go to Colorado, they are growing brown top millet in tons and tons. Do you know what they write on the bag of brown top millet? Not for human consumption. Bird feed. They are saying brown top millet, which has got 12.5% fiber, which can clean up human gut from mouth to anus so thoroughly that it can heal almost many diseases without winking an eye in a matter of 3 months. And here, the best, the so-called advanced FDA, Food and Drug Administration of America, declares that it is not for human consumption and writes it as bird feed. Brown top millet has been eaten. It is actually referred to in our books as Sashtika Shali, a grain that is formed in 60 days. In fact, the shortest harvest is brown top millet. It makes the pinnacle in 60 days. Harvest is ready in 70 to 75 days. Kodo millet is 4.5 months. Foxtail millet, 90 days harvest time. Barnyard millet, 90 days. Little millet, 90 days. That means just the rainy season is good enough to grow this food anywhere on this planet Earth. In fact, we have done research, taken sand, pure sand, and mixed 2% cocoa peat and have grown these millets, 5 millets, and they have yielded 10 quintals per acre. That means even in a desert land, you can grow food for yourself. There is no transport. Nothing is required. Everyone on this planet can grow food in their backyard, on the roads, on their... If you have big buildings like this is almost like half acre. You can grow 5 quintals food on the top of this with a thin 4-inch soil layer. That's all that these grasses require, C4 grasses. It is so easy to grow food, but then we have been brainwashed by these companies that it is not our food. So it is important for the younger generation to brainwash themselves that this is the food, and what we have been eating in the last 70, 80 years is slow poison. I am sorry to declare like this, but this is my last 35 years of research has clearly made me to say these words with confidence, that if only people do research in the right direction, you will find all these results. No one can ever deny what I am saying. We can cure all these diseases left and right in a matter of 3 years. Just 3 years, the human race eats millets. We can close down 75% of the hospitals. 75% of the hospitals can be closed down, completely closed down, because people will not have diseases to go to doctors. And that is the essence of millets. So don't talk about millets, climate resilience, this, that, value addition. All this talk will not take you anywhere unless you convince yourself that this is the food that can keep you complete health. It is not just nutrition. Even disease can be completely eliminated at the site of production itself, and each and every cell of your body. And that is the arrangement God has made when you eat these fibrous, wonderful grains, because the fiber, soluble fiber, insoluble fiber. The story is not over, because I need to convince you that the doctor is within you. When you eat this fibrous, wonderful food, the insoluble fiber goes and lodges itself in the gut, that is the large intestines, and starts harboring the microbes that are symbiotically living within your body. And it is these microbes that complete lot of biological functions in your body. Vitamin B12, which no one else can make. No living cell can make vitamin B12 on this body. It is the microbes that make. It is the microbes that are present in the fish. That is the microbes that are present in the bear. It is the microbes that are present in the lion. It is in your body. Everywhere microbes are there. Without microbes, there is no health. And that microbes are taken care of by this wonderful fibrous food. Whereas rice and wheat start killing these microbes because of high glucose content they release. You see the poison effect of rice and wheat. You see the medicinal, beautiful effect of this fiber in your body. And these are the important findings of my research in the last 30 years that have made me confident in declaring that the future of the food is millets. And what else, what best food you can have to create healthy generation after generation. And there is no need for dams, there is no need for fertilizer, there is no need for water, there is no need for any technology to improve the yields. So these are the wonderful characteristics that millets carry with themselves, which we have not been recognizing and forgetting. We have forgotten. And that's why I left my job in 97. This forgotten, wonderful, ancient grains are the real food. I named them as Siridhanya. Arogyave Mahabhagyam. Anni bhagyala kante pedda bhagyam ఆరోగ్యం. ఆ ఆరోగ్యాన్ని ఇచ్చే ధాన్యాలు మనం తృణధాన్యాలు, క్షుద్రధాన్యాలు, చిరుధాన్యాలు, కిరుధాన్యాలు, పిల్లెట్టు, మిగిలెట్టు, పిగిలెట్టు అనుకుంటూ చెడ్డ చెడ్డ పేర్లతో పిలుస్తున్నాం. అందుకే ఈ 5 ధాన్యాల్ని సిరిధాన్యాలు అని పిలిచాను. And happily our government has recognized, now they are calling Shri Anna project, Shri Anna. But their imagination is only limited to bajra, ragi and jola. Let us educate ourselves that there are wonderful millets. If we search, there may be another 10 more millets in India itself. India itself, we may find 10 more millets. In fact, right now, I have one more millet in my hand, which I am trying to grow. I just got a fistful of the seeds called kutki. It is called, in Karnataka, one of the small villages near Chikmagaluru, I got from an old lady. It is called, she said in her language, I am actually not able to get the word. It is very peculiar word. Kulkar. I'll get back to you with that. I have to go and talk to that lady again. I've got the seeds just 30-40 days back. So I have to start growing them and start using for the patients and try to study the nutritional chart and everything. So there are many more millets which carbohydrate by fiber. If you get single digits, they are going to be your positive millets. And if it is double digit, they are neutral millets. And rice and wheat for sure are negative grains because they are nothing but disease. And many people who think that olden day rice is good, this rice is good, that rice is good, black rice, white rice, brown rice, all rice have got no fiber, only 0.2 grams fiber. So whatever rice you eat, over a period of time, you are going to be sick, guaranteed. If you eat millets, even if you are sick for last 20 years, in 2-3 years, you will become healthy. So my sincere request to all the young research scientists and young people is to start eating millets and start removing rice and wheat from your plates. Only then you can save the planet, you can save the future generations. Thank you so much.